Why am I holding an egg and what does that have to do with you making $5,000 a month? I'll tell you, I promise. So the egg, what we're going to do is talk about this mindset shift that has helped me make millions of dollars, generate millions of dollars over the past decade after being homeless, sleeping on the floor of an airport for some of that, and just bouncing around from city to city, couch to couch, and sometimes not even a couch, right, with no shelter, um, to going to what we do now. So what I do now is I help entrepreneurs make more money so that they can build wealth and they can have more freedom and options. And the egg stands for something. I'm going to tell you what it stands for. First, I would love if you would subscribe if you're not subscribed. I know if this is the first time you're seeing me, you may wonder why you should subscribe. But I'll tell you, just like that, I kind of messed up, but I didn't edit it. I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to tell you the real. I'm going to tell you exactly how I made this much money and how it has changed my life and the lives of thousands of other people. And I'm going to be straight with you. And I think in this time, we need like very specific tactics and very specific ideas rather than just fluff. And that's what I'm going to give you. So if you subscribe, YouTube will put more of my videos in front of you. And I know from experience, after having almost 170,000 subscribers, I know that people who subscribe get to see me. I post almost daily. They really start to get to know me and they understand how valuable that will be. So I want to make sure that my videos get in front of you. So if you wouldn't mind subscribing right now and letting me know about you, tell me a little bit. This isn't just a one-way street. This isn't just me talking at you. Where do you live? Like, what do you do for a living? What are you working on? What are the pain points that you have that I can talk about in videos that I can actually try to help you with? Tell me all about it. If you have been following me for a while, you're already subscribed. I thank you so, so much. I thank you so, so much. Okay, so the egg, why? Why did I DoorDash an egg in this economy? Because it's going to be a very simple framework for you that I think might unlock some things. I'm working currently with about, I would say 2,400 or so. So 2,400 entrepreneurs are inside of two of my memberships on school right now. And they're taking this 5 day to 5K per month challenge. And some of the things, the blockers that we have talked about on day one and day two have been about people not feeling like they have something valuable enough to sell or interesting enough to start a YouTube channel. And I have this really simple framework, but it's powerful when it comes to, or this model, I should say, when it comes to making 5K per month. I've done it multiple times and I've helped other people do it. Dozens and dozens and dozens of people do this very specific thing of taking a niche YouTube channel and adding it to a school membership that costs $9 per month. Now, what does egg have to do with that? Okay, listen closely. This is what you want to really pay attention to if you've walked away from the screen or anything. Egg, E, is for expand. We're going to expand our mind. The people who come into the 5 day challenge who on day one are saying things in the chat like, oh, I can't do this, or no one's going to buy from me, or I don't have anything interesting to talk about. I stop them and I tell them, and I won't do that forever because hopefully you'll hear it here. You don't have to be an expert to have people pay you. You also may be an expert at something and not even realize it because of your lived experience. So, part one of this is to expand your way of thinking. Not only thinking through what imposter syndrome might be doing to you, and if that hit you, let me know in the comments, but thinking about what is possible in your life, what is possible on the horizon. they say expand your horizons, right? And I think about this so often because people ask me all the time because not only have I done what I mentioned, but I've also invested in 200 companies since being homeless 10 years ago. So people ask me all the time, how did you get yourself from there to here? Why did you even think it was possible? It's because I had the mindset shift before I made the money. Put that in the comments. Mindset over money. Mindset shift before money. That's what it took for me. I had to tell myself, oh, you're doing this. This is possible for you. That one word is so powerful. I remember a year and a half ago, I went on a tour of the U.S. because I had my new book, Your First Million, it just come out, and so we took it around to several cities. I did book launches in those cities, and I would ask the audience in every city, who here truly believes that they can make $1 million or more, or they can be a millionaire, depending on how you look at it. And half of the room would raise their hands, which I'd be so happy about. And this was mostly, I would say, 90% Black women from 30 to 70, right? Half the room would raise their hands, and that'd be cool. And then I would think about the other half and I'd ask them, I'd say, okay, somebody tell me why you didn't raise your hand. And people would just yell out and they'd say, uh, uh, it's impossible. No one has done that in my family. I don't know what that looks like. Some people would say, I don't need that amount of money. And I totally respect that because I understand. For a lot of people, making an extra $5,000 a month would mean everything. What would that mean to you? What would that mean to you to make an extra 5K per month, which is exactly what I'm teaching in the 5 day challenge. There's a 7 day free trial, by the way, if you click the link below. If you're still with me, I think you're my people. If this didn't, scare you off, I think you're my people. So I would click the link below to check it out. If you're already in the 5 day challenge or you're in the middle of it or taking it on the replays, this is going to help you too. Because I've been talking to you for days now, and I understand what is coming out of those comments. So expand the idea. Do you want to know what the two G's stand for? Let me know if you want to know that. Okay, so the two G's, the next one is going to be generate. So you have expand, and now you're going to have generate. Generate. What do I mean by that? It means that you're going to turn yourself from being an observer and a consumer only to being an observer and a consumer plus a generator of content, of ideas, of energy. You're going to generate things. You are going to become a supplier of knowledge, information, experience. Doesn't have to be a lot, doesn't have to, if you think at all this has to do with fancy equipment or anything that's going to cost you a bunch of money, that is not this vibe. When I say generate, I mean, let's start with content. I'm producing content right this moment. I am on a laptop camera. It is not, I don't even think it's HD, let alone 4K. I'm on Zoom. I could be on Loom or QuickTime or StreamYard or all the other ones. But I am essentially press and record, and I'm talking to you now, and I'm giving you information. And if you hear these words and see this video, that means that it is valuable to you, or you're hate watching. If you're hate watching, more power to you. But it most likely, 99% of the people watching this to this point are getting something out of it. So doesn't that mean that conceivably, if you expand your thinking, doesn't that mean conceivably you could do something like this too? That you don't have to be Mark Rober or Mr. Beast or Stephen Bartlett, all these very, very famous YouTubers, that you could potentially just turn the camera on, have it prepared, have some idea, the concept prepared. And we talk all about that in day 3. I tell you all the things you need to know about YouTube on day 3 of this 5 day challenge, which you can get for a 7 day free trial and the link below. I tell you all about it because you don't have to be those people. You can be you. You don't have to be me. I gained 150,000 subscribers in 12 months, 5 million views, long form mostly. So I know how to grow, I know how to expand, I know how to do all of that. But I also have a YouTube channel that I started a week and a half ago, almost 2 weeks ago. It has about 600 subscribers. So it grew pretty fast, but it could have 100 subscribers and be doing well. It's making me money. And that's what I'm teaching you. So when you pair the school membership part of it, which is like where they come in and it's very specific pricing and there's all sorts of things that I'm teaching you with the content, and you make that content first on YouTube, that long form, meaning it's horizontal landscape. It is 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 15, 20, even longer per video. People feel a depth. There's a depth that happens. You can ask anyone who is doing well in the info space and on YouTube. And by doing well, I mean generating revenue and are profitable. Those groups like Alex Hormozy, Daniel Priestley, Ali Abdal, etc., all of those people will tell you that yes, they have books out. I have 3 books out into the world. I was paid, come closer to the screen if you want to hear what I was paid. For my first book it came out in 2020, I was paid $400,000 to write it, to release it. For my second book that came out in 2024, on January 2nd of 2024, where I was on Tamron Hall and all of the different things that you may have seen me on, or that you can search for on YouTube. I was paid 300,000, and that was the advance. So if I ever sell more than that, which it's going to take a while, I'll get even more. And for my third book, I self-released it, and I'm going to make more than both of those combined because of that book. Um, they'll tell you that yes, you can have a book that people read, they get to know you. I think the book is really high up there. I might do a video about like the different things that are like in order of like depth. Let me know if you want me to do that. But the book is incredible, but only maybe tied with it or second to it is YouTube. And I might even say beating it is YouTube. When people come up to me or reach out to me these days, like in, the current year, they're talking to me about YouTube, what I said on this video or what they did when they watched that video. Oh, I took that lesson and I ran with it. Or you really opened my mind to this type of thing. It's a depth that you cannot get on Instagram. You cannot get on TikTok. You cannot get even on LinkedIn. Although all of these different platforms have their places and you can actually utilize these as part of the awareness campaign. But that content, that generation of content and treating it such an important reverence is important. So it's expand and it's generate. You're generating content, you're generating ideas. You are a factory of I won't say factory, you're a well of content, not a factory, a well. You spring forth content. I remember when I started my venture fund, again, I was homeless a decade ago. I started a venture capital fund from scratch. There's a whole story about it. You can Google it if you're interested. But I remember when I started it, like out the gate, I would do blog posts, I would do different like Instagram, tweet all the time. And I would have people DM me who were very, very wealthy and successful, but old school or very set in their ways when it came to how, even if they weren't old school, they were like, playing the game, Silicon Valley game, private equity game. They would reach out to me, and I mean, several of them, and they would say, "You're doing too much." I had a few black friends come up to me and say, like, try to do an intervention. And they were like, "You're doing too much," meaning you're out there too much, you're exposed too much. People don't want to see a VC or a venture capitalist out there talking about their personal life or talking directly to the founders. You're supposed to talk to other investors and to people who can invest in your fund. You're not supposed to talk to entrepreneurs because they need to come to you and ask you for money. This is what people would tell me. And I didn't listen to them for 1 second because I knew that community was number one. I knew that that was always, always going to win out. No matter what happened in my fund, no matter what happened with the market, no matter what happened in tech, that if I had the people, if I could talk directly to the people, I would never, ever want for anything. And that's what I did for 10 years because I had done it previously when I was broke for other things. So I knew. And it's so funny to me that today I look everywhere I look, I see venture capitalist after venture capitalist, investor after investor, old school finance after old school finance. They have not only embraced content, but they act like it was there the whole time. It was the plan the whole time. Like, oh, they invented it, you know? And I'm like, I'm glad you've caught up, but we've been doing this. So if they're doing it, I always like to follow the money. I always like to look at the through line. So where are people going? That's what brought me into Silicon Valley. I saw some very wealthy and exciting entrepreneurs who are musicians. I was like, why are they spending money over here? I'm following the money trail. And what's happening right now is that content is driving so much capital. It is driving so much opportunity that you can't even count it at this point. YouTube is the number two search engine in the world, second to Google, that owns it. There are 2.4 billion people who use YouTube every single month, and that's growing. That's a third of the world's population. And some of the population can't even, speak yet. So that's incredible. I don't know a metric that is more powerful than that. And if there are 2.4 billion people who are watching, don't you believe that there are 24 people or 240 people, a fraction of a fraction of a fraction, who would want to see what you have to say? And if you believe that logically, which you should, listen to the egg, then you would stand to reason to know, it would stand to reason that YouTube wants to get those people in front of you because it wants you to stick around and it wants them to stick around. It wants the viewer to have a good experience and it wants the person producing the content to. So its algorithm is gonna help push this in a way that we have not seen before. This is the part of what I've cracked. Okay. I've cracked this in the last 18 months is I figured out, oh, wait a second. YouTube wants me to do well on YouTube. YouTube wants to get my videos in front of the right people. Therefore, if I feed it quality and consistency, it's going to pay off for me. It's going to help me. And you don't have to have I said 24, 240. You don't have to have thousands and thousands or hundreds of thousands of people watching you in order to make $5,000 per month. You don't need that. You just need a few dozen people every month to discover you and to stay with you. And I teach all about every step, day one, day two, day three. Teach every step of this. Jump on in. The link below gives you a 7-day free trial while it's going. It may be over now, but the free trial as of now is still happening. And even after that, it's just $50, $50 per year, not month, year. So it's so well worth it. In fact, let me just show you. I guess I'll show you this because before we get to the next G, because I know you want to know what that is. If you don't want to know, let me know in the comments if you want to know. But I'm going to show you. Also, if you're learning anything, if you heard something you didn't know before, put the word gem, GEM, put the word gem in the comments to let me know that this is helping you. But I'm going to show you this. GEM. Anytime you hear something from this point on or before, go ahead and tell me what that is. Put the word GEM. All right. I think this is the right one. So I posted this 13 hours ago, and I was telling people that some people were not realizing that their 7 days was up. So look what people wrote. Hold on. This is an incredible value. Now I must sift through and do this step by step. Replay crew. And then I wanted to show you this. This is LaDonna says, and you're watching on a phone, it may be hard to see this, so I'm going to read it out loud. LaDonna says, "This is the most valuable course I've ever been in. You are the best." Isn't that awesome? Yes. Chelsea says, "I am staying and happy to receive the automatic charge, which is the $50 after 7 days. This challenge has been so completely amazing. I have received so much value over the last few days, and I'm excited to stay the course. Thanks so much for the reminder." And then Becky says, "Priceless value that is consistently over delivering time and time again." I mean, this is just a few of like the dozens of comments I've received, testimonials, etc., in the last week alone. What is that G? What's that final G? If you know, if you have a guess of what it is, say it's not guess, but if you have a guess of what it is, tell me in the comments. The final G is powerful. It is something that the expansion and the generation will help foster. And it's where the unlock is for your 5K plus per month. Because we start at 5K. If you want to expand from there and generate more from there, you can. The second G is for grow. You're going to take what we're learning and you're going to grow every single month, every single year. And this compounding effect is going to resonate and pay off for you. And over time, you will understand. I think, actually, let me see if I can find it fast enough. Give me a second. I think this chart that I'm going to show you that one of our members posted. Let's see if I can find it fast enough. She posted this great chart today, and she wanted people to understand the math because I teach the math in day 1 and day 4 and day 5. And she wanted people to see the math even more closely. So Dion, thank you so much for this. I'm going to show everybody this. This is a little sneak peek. You'll see this when you come in as a free member for 7 days. But Dion said one sale per day for a year is $18,000, 250. And what we're talking about is my framework where you're selling $9 a month or $50 a year community and school, very specific amounts and very specific platform. Don't try to do this on a different platform or a different price. It does not work as well. And my 5-day challenge replays will explain exactly why. So Dion says, for people questioning Arlan's $9 a month or $50 a year, which is just a few people, by the way, out of 2,400, I present this breakdown. If you focus on getting just one annual member per day, and I say you can get 3, right? One per day on average, not even every single day, but on average, that's $1,500 per month over time by the end of the year. And then she gives this. Check this out. You might want to pause this and just take a look. And this is like give or take. There are going to be some fees that come out, some payment fees and different. So this isn't like exact numbers, but this gets you pretty close to it. In the description, I'm also going to give you a calculator that helps you with this as well. And I may even expand, yes, and generate and grow the calculator to be up to 10 rather than to 6 where it is right now. So I might do that if I can remember. If you want me to do that and you don't see it on the calculator, just let me know in the comments. I'm reading every single one. And I'm listening to your comments. That's when I make new content every day, either on this channel or my other channel. And it's because there's so many great questions and insights that you give me and that people in my memberships give me. So you can start this from scratch. You can start this while you still have your other job. You can one day, hopefully, replace your salary with this if you were to stick with it. But people are finding every single day inside of your first 5K that it is easier and more simple than they ever imagined and that it's attainable. and that it is a long game. It's not this overnight get rich quick scheme. That's not what we're doing. We don't play that. But it is something that over time is very worth it. I'm gonna eat this egg, by the way. I hope you know that. It's hard boiled. I'm eating it right after this video. Good, get yourself one if you want, if you're into that. And think about egg when you are stuck. Whether you're already with me, you've been with me for a while, or you're just finding me today, or somewhere in between. You've watched a couple of my videos, you like it, but you think, oh, that's not for me, or I don't have time, or da da da. Let me tell you something. If you've made it to the end of this video, you are like maybe 15%, 10% of people make it to the end of my videos, in most videos. And if you've made it to the end of my video and you have not subscribed and you haven't joined my 7-day free trial that's in the description, that's a blocker. There's something blocking you and telling that you cannot do it, or telling you that this is too small for you. This is small potatoes. Let me tell you something. Somebody who's in my Your First 5K, you can also be in Arlan's All Access and have access to this. But someone who's in my Your First 5K, I taught a 5-day challenge that is in the replay that you get access to as well. But this one was about making $100 offers. So you can get some points on board, you can make some money, you can see that money start to come in. And hundreds of people have made money from it. She did a $97 one-on-one call. She was 68 at the time. 68 at the time. She's 69 now. She did a $97 one-on-one call. She sold it. She was so excited. We got her on here. I interviewed her. You probably saw her if you've been around for a little bit. On that call, she made a $6,000 sale in one call. And then to show that it wasn't just fluke, she did it again a couple of days later. Another 97, another 6K. What I mean by that is that sometimes what is holding us back is that we think that things are too elementary for us or too beginner for us. Do you understand that I have raised $30 million for a venture fund? I have invested in 200 companies. I have generated at least $1 million for myself every single year, the last 5 years, and I've generated millions of dollars for other people. I've been on the cover of Fast Company. I have 3 books out. I will get a beginner course like it's my job. I will get a coach. I will get a program. I will do a workshop. I train myself. I look at videos from people on YouTube every day, hours worth. I will go to the beginning and start over every day if I need to. I need the beginner and I need the advanced. And the people who I know who are my friends, who are the wealthiest friends I have, do the same. That's the difference. That's really the difference between them and someone who has less than $1 million in their bank account, is that they're constantly learning, and it's not even being humble, they're just being smart. If there's information out there, I'm going to go and reach out for it. Now, of course, you're going to choose who your gurus are, and you're going to choose who your coaches and teachers are. You're going to know what kind of money you have to spend on that. But you're going to invest yourself, your time and your energy and your money, depending on what it is. But I would invest my time learning. Take 50% of the time to learn, take 50% of the time to implement, and you become unstoppable.